What's up, AfterBuzzers? Welcome back to the Glow After Show. Obviously, you can see that we have a very special guest in the studio today, and I know that you have been binging all night long watching Season 3 of Glow, so you won't want to miss any of our conversations, so stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
How cute.
We have her! So excited! Literally, I've been talking to you like every day, and now I finally get to see you.
Yes, you get to see me.
Not as Yolanda. I
Yes.
get to see you as Shakira Barrera. I'm trying to roll my R's. Barrera,
Yeah.
I can't do it.
We'll work on it. It's okay.
We'll work on it. Okay, great. Fantastic. Obviously, you guys know that she plays Yolanda Junk Change on the, am I saying that right?
You are.
Okay, great. On Glow. And you had quite a storyline this season, my dear.
Do you think so?
I think so.
I want to know what you guys think.
loved it.
We loved it.
And obviously, we have the one and only original Glow girl here with us.
The real
She's in
MVP.
here- Little Egypt. I have to figure out another adjective. Timeless.
Okay, I'll take
Iconic.
it. Okay.
Powerful. I've been doing all the adjectives for you all season. Inspiring. Anything else you want to add in there?
I don't know.
As
Gorgeous.
you should.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous lady of wrestling.
We're humble. We're very humble here.
Humble people on this panel, very much so. Well, we have obviously been enamored with this season, and you in episode 2 and 7 specifically have had such a journey. What was it like getting the script the first time?
Wow. Reading episode 2 was definitely like, we are in Vegas. I mean, sex, and the transitions were more sex. Yeah. So, I mean, I definitely felt where they were going, how invasive it was, but also in the invasion, it was so private and so intimate. And I thought they did, I mean, Liz and Carly and the writer's room did a great job in bringing all of our storylines together and kind of beginning this journey of, you know, Yolanda and Arthi and, you know, Rhonda and Bash and Ruth and Sam.
In all your career, have you ever played a lesbian before?
Have I? I think this is my first time. I'm like, geez,
It's so believable. Like when you play Yolanda, it's like the pain, the anger. I mean, we saw a lot of that this season with you and your character. It was just like, but we can actually empathize now with that. Like we actually had some discussions earlier. Was Yolanda, you know, is she being oversensitive? Did you feel that at all? Or
I'm biased because I am so in her head and I understand exactly where she's coming from. I think, you know, giving you guys a little bit of the backstory on how she was created is that she's this very independent, you know, outspoken lesbian in the 80s, which, you know, it was not allowed. It was not really seen or, you know, it wasn't given a thumbs up like it is right now. You know, I know a lot of LGBTQ people are still fighting for their rights, you know, in this political climate, but it's definitely more celebrated to be out and loud and proud. So I feel like she's such a courageous woman to be, you know, this loud and out and proud in a time where it just was not, no one was having it. And my thing this season was seeing how she almost had a double life, you know, at home with her parents, which you never see any of us with our parents. But, you know, the writers and I created this kind of backstory to help me, which is Yolanda portrayed this typical American dream that, you know, any immigrant parent wants is like, get married to a rich man, go to school, become a professional, but a professional means, you know, a lawyer, a doctor, you know, an engineer. And she was living that life at home. And then she was going away and dancing and being herself and going to the gay clubs and being Yolanda, you know, being Yo-Yo. And I think that goes back to episode 2 when she's like, you know, my friends call me Yo-Yo. I think for me, that particular line is like, you know, the people who really know me, they call me Yo-Yo. So I think that's this season. You see who she is, and you know, she does seem, I guess, you know, from an outside perspective, I do see that she can be a little bit oversensitive, but you have to understand Arthi is not her first. So her frustrations are different than Arthi. I feel like she is just she's giving her soul, and they've not said I love you, but I mean it's so obvious. It's so obvious, and it's so obvious that there is that between them, but it's just they're just so torn. They're so torn. They're just in completely opposite places.
Yeah. And what I love, and I mean, obviously 2 and 7 were very different, but what I love was the through line so much, where you even have the line of saying something along the lines of, I don't want to be with this straight girl trying to figure out whether or not she's gay or something like that.
Completely.
And because you've already figured out your identity at this point.
Yes. And I have a lot of friends who I have many gay best friends, but I have many friends that they've told me their experiences with being gay and, these straight people using them and kind of seeing if it was that they, liked it and experienced it. And basically I related to that, and those stories impacted me because they were my friends. And I feel like that was some of the inspiration for that is like, I don't want to be used. If you're not going to say what it took me, years to say and what I live now, and this is my truth. And if you don't, if you can't come to terms with it, don't use me in the process. And I think that was 7 for Yolanda. Was like that was the real breakup, was like, oh, this is not gonna, I've been used many times and I'm already doing this hidden double life. And we see that as well in the hair salon scene.
Yes. Oh, that was so good.
It's a double life thing. She's like, don't say anything stupid. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Don't say anything dumb.
Yeah.
Look at me. We've talked about this. Get with it. You can't be this in public. So I feel like she just has such a level of understanding, not for anything other than, the experiences that she's already had.
Right.
And in the strip club. I mean, she has to dance on guys and do all these things for money. And I feel like she's just such a badass, and she has to know who she is to be in that environment.
Yeah. I mean, I loved even to jump ahead a couple episodes, because obviously 2 and 7 were so like pivotal for you and your character and relationship. But even going into 10, where they're having the AIDS awareness banquet and having those words out there, and Arthi finally getting it and seeing it, and
she's
like,
getting it.
Getting the headband was so stinking cute though, and I just I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it.
she's really cute. Like. I love her character. I love how the writers are using her point of view to teach people and educate people on the thoughts that, people who are gay have.
Yeah.
And it's through this individual who you would least expect it. You would least expect Yolanda and Arthi to be together. If anything, I always thought it would be Yolanda and Cherry Bang. I'm like, Cherry Bang's getting a divorce. Like,
come on,
Yolanda,
let's go.
Yolanda would take Cherry Bang in a second, but it just, went the other way, and it's so much more interesting that way.
Yeah.
I in the back of my mind as we watched you enter in season number 2, right? Here you are, the newest member to the wrestling, to the gorgeous ladies of wrestling, right? You are a glow girl. It was so cool to watch, like, you trying to make a home for yourself here. What was it like behind the scenes? Were the girls embracing you? Did it feel still awkward? You were the new kid on the block, and now here we are, season 3. What's it like?
You know what? It was so warm and welcoming.
Good.
I can't even begin to describe how thoughtful and caring these women were, and patient, watching me, catch up. I mean, that's, it's like you're in a class and you're in hot yoga, and the instructor's like, anyone else who could do a handstand? And you're still like in your warrior, you're struggling. So I feel like I really respect them for allowing me and giving me that time to catch up. Thankfully I trained before then, I was working out 5 times a week, and I've been dancing since I was 3. Yeah. So my level of coordination is just like I can pick things up really quickly, but I didn't go in there expecting to be good. And I think that helped me. It was like, as much as I've been dancing, I understand dancing is something way different than wrestling. And I didn't go in there being like, I'm going to pick this up. I was like, I know nothing. Everyone's going to go before me, and I'm going to go last.
Gotcha.
You know, so I let, you know, our training sessions are broken up in half. So the first half of the day is like the first half of the girls, and the second half is the second half of the cast. And everybody just partners up, and I just watched everyone go first. And all their mistakes, I mean, watching their mistakes and learning from them, it's like such a nice process. It was so great. And what a warm welcome, right? Like normally you just go to your trailer and you know, you're sitting in the makeup room and it's just like, hey, I'm
nice
here.
To meet you.
Like,
Hi.
yeah, I'm a part of the family. Don't know how long I'm here, but like to be in each other's armpits and like butt cracks and
all the things.
you know what I mean? And like you're like, oh wow, she doesn't. She's like, I do. You know, strong deodorant is needed or not. You know, it was just such. I'm so thankful for
and
that.
you had no wrestling experience, just like many of the original girls, right?
Absolutely
just
not.
Walked in. Okay, so what was it like taking your first bump? And you had Chavo, the great Chavo, as your trainer.
Yes, Chavo is freaking amazing. Helena is amazing. Shauna's amazing. We won an Emmy. You know, she won an Emmy for stunts, which is freaking unbelievable. They're amazing. My first bump was so painful. Let me tell you, like, the pain that I felt from like C6 and up was like, I've never felt that before ever in my life. And I never forgot to tuck my chin after that. You know, Chavo's like, that's why you tuck your chin. I'm like, yeah, I get it now.
Oh, so your head flew back then, right?
My God.
Oh, my gosh.
It was just like, you know, the reflex of, you know, it was like kind of a bounce. And it just got really hot. And I was like, I don't want to do that for like a little bit.
Yeah.
But we had to. We had to. And now it's just about doing it right. You know, it's always going to be painful.
Yeah.
It's always going to be painful.
Are you having fun though as
having
a wrestler?
a great time.
Okay.
It's a great time. Yeah.
Right,
I mean, this season we didn't get to wrestle.
Yeah, there's not a lot of wrestling in this season at all.
I'm interested to see what the fans are going to say about that, because I know we have a lot of wrestling fans. But this season for sure was digging deep into the characters and getting to know these characters.
Yeah.
You know, aside from the leads, it's like getting to know the supporting. So I'm really excited about it. But wrestling it's the best. It's the freaking best.
Take me back to the audition too, because I mean,
Oh, you're interested in the audition?
yes, but the reason why is because like, how much did you know how involved you were going to be? Like, did you expect to be all the way in season 3? Because I mean, I've seen you at the award shows now, and you even told me at SAG you were like, I was a guest last year,
Yeah.
and then now you were nominated. Like, did you expect any of this when you got the call too?
No. Actually, my audition was on tape for producers, and they hired me from the tape.
From the tape?
Yes.
Girl.
I know.
It's amazing.
It's honestly unheard of. And my audition, I remember I did it twice, and the casting director told me to use the room, you know, which is rare because normally it's just, you know, the camera's there and they can follow you a little bit nowadays because the technology's a little better. But I mean, I've never had really casting be like, you know, there's curtains there. I know there's curtains in the script, so you can use the curtains, you know? So it was a different audition for me, but I think I was so loose.
Yeah.
And I freaking love the character. I love the description. I mean, breakdancer, stripper, lesbian, wrestler.
I mean, why wouldn't you
I couldn't write anything better. You know, I couldn't have written anything better. And the fact that it was, when I watched season 1, they had no Latina representation, no Latinx representation. And I mean, even in the original Glow, you know, we were talking outside, Little Egypt and she told me that Spanish Red was like their Glow girl. And I actually watched Spanish Red before going into this Glow to study, because I wanted to see how, you know, a Latina woman would approach this. And so I could feel like it was relatable to me. So she was one of the first characters that I studied.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What was it like to be on a set? Was this your only time on a set where it was almost an all-female production team too?
Yeah.
On top of all that?
And the directors are, mostly female. The
What's
writers.
that environment like?
So safe, but also like a huge sorority. And you're also like, oh my God, why am I in college again? Like, what the hell? I never want to eat lunch with anyone. And you like when I'm on set, I just like, it's my time to turn off and eat and be sloppy. And we always want to eat together. We just can't separate.
Aww.
Yeah. And it's so great. I mean, it's just such a great safe environment.
Yeah.
Such a great safe environment.
Oh, I love it so much. I mean, it shows clearly because you guys have been nominated for Best Ensemble multiple times. Yeah. And you're nominated for Emmys as well. Like, what's that feeling like?
I mean, just because the cast isn't nominated, this season, the fact that Betty Gilpin was nominated for her performance in season 2 is like such a big win for us because she freaking killed it. I mean, I can't even believe that we were just in the same show as that woman. Like, that woman is so talented. We are so proud of her. We're so proud of the costume team. We're so proud of the design team. We're so proud of the writers, like stunts. I mean, it's such a family environment. The show is not like your typical show where you go, and you say hi and then you go back to your trailers. Like, it's such a big, huge sleepover family. And I love it. And we're really proud. And we hope that she wins. But I mean, just the fact that she's nominated in the category that she's nominated in is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It's so good. And then my other question is too, you've watched the season now. You've watched it twice.
Yeah.
Because you said the first time you obviously watched to see everything from first perspective and then as a fan. What was your favorite episode this season and why?
I think my favorite episode, was the Freaky Friday episode when everybody switched characters. And that was because we had so much fun filming it and we were so excited to get that script. We all started asking each other. Well, we knew there was a rumor because we had to train for some of the girls wrestled. So Shauna and Chavo always get like the heads up from the writers and they're like, guys, we're switching characters. And we were like, what? Who's my character? Who's Jung Chain? Can she do it better? Like, should I be scared? Am I not going to be Jung Chain anymore? Like, it's just so many questions. And that episode for me was the funnest. Just watching Ellen do a British accent.
Oh,
I mean,
great.
watching Jenny play Britannica was, come on. That's golden. I remember us just behind the curtains just freaking laughing. And like our first AD's like, guys, shut the fuck up. Seriously. Shut the fuck up. Seriously. We're never going to go home. Go to the trailer. Like, go to the trailer, get away. But I remember Freaky Friday was a really good episode. That was my favorite.
Yeah. I mean, that was one of our favorites for sure.
Oh,
because we
just
actually got to see a lot of wrestling in that one.
Yeah.
And you were even talking about the original Glow of like you guys were doing different shows every night and you guys in the show are doing the same.
Yeah, you guys are doing the same show over and over, but then at the end, right? And we hear Debbie talking about, or Betty Gilpin, that she's now part of the president of a TV studio, and they're going to take this show and they're going to run with it in a different direction. I'm like, I wonder if it's going to finally get on a big platform.
I think it might.
That would be cool.
I think it might.
There's a big component there of you
There's
guys
a huge
getting,
component. And I'm interested just because Carmen separated from the team and she's going to be wrestling with her brothers and they're hardcore.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that storyline and more wrestling from Carmen.
Yeah. Do you want to do more wrestling? Are you excited to like do bigger moves?
I do. I want to do wrestling, but I also want to dance so bad. Like I was the dance episode that we did, I think it was episode 3 or 4. I don't even remember. But that episode with the showgirls, I remember Marguerite Derricks, who's our choreographer, it said in the script, like, Yolanda does the dance, like, pretty good, you know, and the rest of the girls are, like, struggling.
Right.
So I'm thinking, like, you know, I got to do it like these showgirls. And I see these girls, they're like 5'11" and like long legs.
Gorgeous.
And like all the girls that I auditioned with in Juilliard, I didn't make it. It was like actually quite traumatizing. But I remember doing the choreography and being like so technical. And I'm like, this is not yo-yo. This is like Shakira's ego kicking in, like trying to do, you know, some sort of rehabilitation in my brain to tell myself that I'm better now, you know, and to keep up with these showgirls was like my own personal challenge. And then I remember changing all the moves, you know, specific moves to how Yolanda would do it. I remember there's like a part that we go, like we put both hands out and we like go down and shake down. And I remember I'm like, she would go, you know what I mean? Like she would be like doing some freaking body rolls or something. And I had to spice it up. And I just remember being like, wow, this is so fun. I just want to continue to keep, like, I hope they write a storyline for her where she gets to pursue her dance dream. And she was wrestling with the girls, but, you know, dance calls and she gets to do that. I don't know.
I feel like we should send this interview over to the writers. And
Liz,
hey guys,
are you listening?
Listen, Yolanda needs to dance, okay? We need to let her dance. We need to see more break dancing. Please and thank you.
Give her Rosie Perez moment.
Oh, can you give us a Rosie Perez too?
Yes. Oh my God. I'd love to have her there.
Oh, that would be amazing. I mean,
God.
you had the epic Gina Davis.
Oh my God. Can
what
we
was
like
that
Were you
like?
guys marking out, like totally jaw dropped, and every time she was on the set?
My childhood dreams were like, they came true. I saw her. She was in the makeup chair. Let me tell you guys, she is unbelievably kind. She is also an unbelievable fan of the show. So
That's awesome.
when she drove up to set, Allie actually told the story last night because we had our premiere. She was saying that it was her and Betty, and they were in full hair and makeup, and the sun was like hitting them from behind, and Gina is like coming up in her car, but they didn't know it was her, and they're like, "Who's this person like trying to stop us?" And Gina's like, "I knew it was you guys because your hair. I could see your hair in the reflection. Huge fan of the show." I'm like, this woman. So not only did she like walk up, but you know, I just think that at her level, like, who has time? You're Gina Davis. Like, what do you know? And just the fact that she was so happy to be there, it just made us so much more comfortable with her. And it was exactly what, you know, I couldn't have pictured it better. You
guys must have been proud of her, though, when she got up in that showgirl piece.
Oh, yeah,
with
that
just
was
the little nipple covers. And
real
the big,
clapping.
Yeah.
I didn't see her until that scene. So those were real.
Those
claps
reactions,
and real
yes, yeah.
Her
reactions.
walking
I
in,
figured
you were
when you-
watching that for the first time. Like, that must have been something.
It was something every time.
Yeah.
How many times did you guys have to do that?
Probably 3 times.
Oh, that's
Wow.
But that's like, I could see that 6 times, 7 times.
Yeah.
Like her walking out in this vintage, like original collection. Like that, what she was
Gorgeous.
wearing was an original collection.
Wow. From the days of showgirls back in the 80s.
I think it's,
wow.
I don't want to say,
Follies Bergère or something like that.
yeah, Beth would kill me if I even tried to, you know, assume a name. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But it's real. Those are real crystals.
Wow. She said it was a Bob Mackie. Do you think it was
I think it is Bob Mackie.
Okay.
I think it is.
They said it on the show. This is
I
an
think it is.
authentic Bob Mackie.
I think it is. Someone correct me in the comments if it's not. We could ask Beth, but I think it is, and I know it's real. I know it's real crystals and stuff.
Did she give you guys any pieces of advice moving forward in your career when you were around her, or just being around her was enough? You didn't need
Being
to
around
ask?
her was enough. I mean, I didn't even want to
listen,
bother.
I would be like, can I just get one little tidbit, please?
I know. Sometimes, well, Sidel is like one of my, like I'm closer to Sidel on the cast, and she is so shameless. She has videos of Gina on her phone, and then later asked Gina, like, can I post this? But like Gina had no idea that Sidel was like taking these videos and pictures. So on the Glow Takeover, you see all these like behind the scenes with Gina. So it was just.
So where can fans watch the Glow Takeover? Is it happening on Instagram or
It's
Twitter?
on Instagram, on Glow Netflix.
Okay.
So some of the girls have already taken over. So we've had Kate Nash, who does Rhonda. She's taken over. Kia Stevens, who does Welfare Queen, she did hers already, and Cherry Bang did hers already. But for Friday, it may be Allie.
Okay.
I'm not sure if Betty will. Betty's Instagram-less. She doesn't like Instagram.
Listen, I need to learn after you, Betty.
Yeah, she's not into that. Which I'm I admire her for. And then next week I take over. I think I take over on Tuesday or Thursday.
Let us know so we can let everybody else know.
Yeah, I might do like a live Q&A thing. I'm not sure. I have no idea. There's like 70,000 followers on there, and I just want to know what they want. I just want to give them what they want.
Listen, just say, hey, what do you want? And I'm sure they will let you know very, very quickly because they are very big fans. And that's one thing I have noticed, even going to the premiere last year in Venice and then going to watch parties with you, like Glow fans are diehard.
Yeah. They're diehard.
Yeah.
They're diehard. I'm sure you know as well.
Yeah, but I was just wondering, like, are a lot of original Glow fans let you know that they come from the rabbit hole? Like, are they?
We get comments from original Glow fans and saying like how happy they are that it's still going, and the show is an homage to the original Glow, and even though the characters are loosely inspired, like there's definitely elements that Liz and Carly have studied, and it's a sensitive. It was a sensitive time, and it's a sensitive show because it was. It's a show that, broke history, and there was not anything else like it. So I think that the original Glow fans remind us of that, but in the nicest way. Yeah. They're not fans that just say you're not doing this, or we make sure to do things the right way, and. We always say loosely inspired. So it's not suggested that we're
trying to keep completely,
or biopicking someone's life, because it's not that. But we definitely did study, at least me. I studied a lot of the original. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I did. I had to. I needed to know the source and needed to know the inspiration and needed to know like the real women who, broke the mold and who were going through the pain that I'm going through.
Do you ever think of that, like when you're taking bumps and stuff? Like, man, some girls really had to do this for the first time.
Absolutely. I have a friend who's now in, she's doing WWE. Isn't it women's wrestling?
Wow.
Yes. Daria. You know Daria from New Jersey?
What's her character? I don't know. I'd have to look. It's okay.
We'll pull it up and we'll post it here.
Yeah. There's a lot of...
It's Sonia Deville.
Sonia Deville.
There you go. Sonia Deville.
You're paying attention. Sonia Deville. So she's my friend from Jersey. So she started wrestling, and I love her style and have completely just studied the shit out of her and studied the shit out of you guys. And now I use that towards me. And we actually bring suggestions to Chavo. So he'll tell us you're not going to get that in 2 rehearsals. Looks cool. Would be great. You also need 3 months of training to do that. So, there's some things that I pull from you guys, and I just, think that I can do it. And Chavo brings us down real quick. And he's like, no.
And the wrestling that you guys are doing actually seems very elementary, because back in the day, we didn't evolve to what the girls are doing right now. This is it's apples and oranges. The good thing is you can do what we did. and Shava's going to make sure, because he needs to make sure that the wrestling moves match the time period that you're working in.
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah.
There's some moves. Exactly. There's some moves that I wanted to do, and Shauna and Chava will step in with their expertise and just say, that's 90s.
Yeah.
That's not, what do I know? I'm like, that's just cool to me. And he's like, no, that's 90s.
Yeah.
We'll go back and we're like, are you sure?
Can we double check that?
Yeah.
Can we time check that?
I really want to do that move.
Well, we're running out of time. My last question for you is, because we don't know yet if they're picked up for season 4.
I know. We'll know in 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
5, 6 weeks
that's
after.
Not bad.
5 weeks.
Yeah.
Not too far. But if you could have your way with the script, what's your prediction for Yo-Yo first and then the rest of the cast after?
Okay. Yo-Yo and Arthi are gonna figure it out, because Arthi is now, fully out and proud. And I think that in their time apart, usually, when your distance makes the heart grow fonder, usually. And I expect her to have perhaps fully, dove into her woman power. And I want her to own that and like be a completely changed, person with Yolanda so they can be an even match. Yeah. I think that'd be great. And I also want Yolanda, that's with Arthi and Yolanda, but I also want Yolanda to have her own identity. I feel like a lot of this season was scenes with Arthi, and you don't really get to see like much of Yolanda except in her point of view with Arthi and their relationship. So I would like to see, more of Yo-Yo and who she hangs out with, like what she's about. Like she's definitely more of like, not a loner, but she does her own thing. So like I want to see who she hangs out with. Like what's her cup of tea? Besides the strip club, like what's her cup of tea? Like any brothers, any best friends, anybody who taught her how to be that way. I want to know more of how she got there. And geez, there's like 15 more characters to talk about, so I don't know if I could go through all of them. And I'm really excited for Carmen's storyline because, like we said before, Carmen, I want to see some wrestling. Yeah. I want to see her...
That evolution of wrestling for her,
And she's such a good wrestler, Brittany Young. I mean, I want to see that go full force. And Cherry and Keith need to stay together.
Yes. Yeah. They talked about adoption, so maybe, yes.
Black love.
Yes,
we need to promote Black love.
Oh. Okay, what about Sam and Ruth? Do you want to see that?
Come on, we know that answer. Moving on to the next one.
What are you on the fence?
I just want Ruth to be her own, like, person, and I feel like she's very she's trying, but she's with the wind. Go with the wind, go with the flow, and she's getting a little bit lost in that mix. And I think it's because they're in Vegas and they're doing the same show over and over and over, and she's only seeing Sam over and over and over. So you see someone and you develop these feelings. Exactly. So I want to see her kind of stray away from that and find her own person. And I don't know if she's going to make it as an actress, but I'm excited to see that journey.
I know. I'm excited to see everything. And girl, I wish I could talk to you for more.
I know.
Because we could go on for hours. I feel like you and I, if we could go for like 3 hours and we'd have stuff to talk about. But thank you so much for coming in and talking with all of us. And
really, thank you so much.
Yes, it was so fun.
Yeah.
So thank you guys again so much for watching. I hope you are enjoying your binge of Glow Season 3 on Netflix. If you haven't finished it, stop what you're doing. Go over, finish watching it. You won't regret any of it. And we probably spoiled half of it for you. So I apologize for that. But my name is Candice Cruz. You can find me on all my social media. And where can they find you, Shakira?
They can find me on Instagram at Shakira Barrera and on Twitter at Shakira X3.
Perfect. And Little Egypt, where can they find you?
All social media at Little Egypt on Instagram and Twitter. For your Glow rabbit hole, go to Glow Little Egypt on Facebook. I've been putting together albums there since 2008, so if you really want to have fun and see what these girls look like back in the day, go check that out. And then don't forget the Glow documentary. It's what inspired the series that we're talking about right now. That is still on Netflix. That was an award winner. And it's called Glow, the story of the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. Please watch it.
It's amazing. Go watch that.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.